Let's talk about binding in AngularJS. We'll just set up a div with an ngapp attribute. Basically, this attribute says that this element and anything inside of it belongs to this app. We'll go into that more later, but for now, binding looks something like this. So we'll have a data message inside of those tags. We don't have anything to bind to it yet, but I just want to show that you can really evaluate any sort of expression in here. Let's make this a bit bigger. So 2 plus 2, if I hit refresh, that'll evaluate to 4. 3 plus 2, hit refresh, that'll evaluate to 5. And you can do things like John plus Lindquist, evaluate. And again, any sort of, not any sort of expression, but many expressions can be evaluated in here. Now there's a lot of things that you shouldn't do in here. You should really keep this logic to a minimum because this is your view and presentation, but there's really quite a lot of things you can do in there. Basically where this gets really useful is when you create an input or any way for the user to interact with the site or your app, and you give it a model, say data message, and in here we'll say data message. So when I refresh in here, because I have a model bound to that, I can just start typing and magically updates every key press. So that's how your data is being bound to and being presented to however that model changes. Now this can also do things like, so if we just do plus world for a proper hello world, we can do type hello and it'll show hello world. Now where this can get a bit crazy and cool, you can actually, if I say div and give this a class of that data message, which is kind of a weird name for it, but we'll just leave it for now, and say wrap me with a foundation component. So these foundation components are inside the foundation library. So a panel, an alert box, a label. You can see that this is updating what's actually inside of this attribute, that value in there. So you can really manipulate a lot of the DOM using the data binding. It's not just presenting simple text or anything. There's a lot more complex things you can do. So that's data binding in a nutshell, and we'll cover more in a bit.